Hey all, welcome in. So this is a bit of a weird video. I'm just gonna break it down. So I recently went to DC through Democracy Works to talk about the importance of the arts and theater education in Nevada schools, but it's a nationwide program, uh, and it was really helpful. It should be happening in 2 years now, so definitely sign up if you have the availability to pay for everything, yada yada. Um, but you know me, I make content out of things. So I was making a vlog about this trip, mostly the fun parts, or like the sillier parts and less of the serious stuff. Um, and this was originally the outro for what that video will be once the teachers send me the photos, which I'm relying on to create a cohesive story because I didn't film most of it. Um, but I I tried making an outro. It ended up being 2 hours of politics and an hour of outro. Yes, I'm a woke lib. Oh, please never actually call me that. Um, but I mean, it was important to me, so I don't care. Um, but I can't really use a 3 hour segment as an outro because the outro would be longer than the whole video. So I'm gonna make a new outro in the future. But now it could be its own video. So this is just like the political side of that video. First hour, good straight politics, and I have my goddamn sources. I won't be answering questions in the comments. Yes, I will. Please comment. Please comment. Um, but like I cited my sources. Fuck you. Um, yeah. Uh, and then the like second half for the last hour is kind of more my trip plus politics and how they work together. And it's kind of spoilers for my vlog. I try to cut around it, but the first hour is just a chunk. So yeah, enjoy. But I was worried though because I was talking to Mark Amade, who is the only Republican representative in my state, and it might shock you, I'm not Republican. And that was one of the nice things about it being political arts political trip is because we're all the arts. We can like we all have pretty similar opinions. And like the thing I told Bradford when we were walking around, just us two around the Cannon building was e either you are gay, know 20 people who are, or you're about to find out. If you don't know somebody gay in theater, it's you. Nobody told me who we were meeting until day before. And I'm like, I have to research the people I'm talking to. We'll get into this. Sorry, I feel like I'm just having a rant with my best friend. Why am I doing this? I hate that. Um, but we looked at everything in the National Mall, and it was such a cool and powerful experience. Like we saw the World War II monument and the stars that each star represents 1,000 people who died during World War II, and it was so powerful just looking. Sorry, that's a word that like they used a lot and it's just now become a part of my vocabulary. It's so meaningful and powerful to see each star and like process. That's how many people died fighting against fascism and against a dictator. And then I look to my right and I see the White House, which is filled with a fascist dictator. I'm gonna get shot. Uh, but it's like, it's so, it was so powerful. But then you start to realize the almost irony of it is that Donald Trump looks out his window and he can see this and all of our history. Not to say that our history's good by any matter, uh, uh, because we've committed so much atrocities. We, but like as a whole, the point is we are moving towards being better, and that's what's important. And like founding fathers, obviously not great people, owned slaves, but they started the movement of time, or the movement of what would be this nation. And there's still things wrong with this nation, but that's also part of the beauty of it, is like something so integral like the Constitution can be easily changed by just public opinion. And I'm just describing what good democracy is, and it's being destroyed right now. Like, it's when the public, when the masses fundamentally disagree with what your representative and congressmen are doing, it defeats the entire purpose of that representative. And if that representative goes against the basics of freedom and democracy and the Constitution as a whole, why can they stand and see such a powerful message on their front lawn? How do we forget such integral parts of history? One of the times where we were at like actually on the right side. We joined World War II like extremely late and for our own benefit, and the war would have been won without us. But we still fought in it, and that was an objectively good thing to do, to fight against fascism. And then you walk around the Cannon building where our representatives are, and you see as many Israeli flags, or not Israeli, I guess Israel flags, as American flags. And that's obviously hyperbole. And country unification is important, but when that country that you're trying to support is doing genocide and is saying things like they are hiding in the rubble now, you cannot defeat them, which I believe is an exact quote from some I'm pretty sure it was just a citizen. But that's the point, is that if that citizen has the same voting power as anybody else. And it's an extension of what is happening, is that you are committing war crimes. You are bombing people. This has turned into just me talking about politics, and I don't even care. I'm like not even about my trip. But it pisses me off to such an extreme point. And it's a political video in itself. I do not care. If you are committing war crimes, when you are committing genocide, if you are saying in public that, oh, it's to stop terrorism, you cannot go back and say, we need to bomb the children. And then even when we bomb them
and they're hiding in the rubble of what was once their home, their safe place where they lived. One of the essentials to living. One of the like four or five things you need to live. We're cutting, they're not we, they're cutting off the food, the water, they're bombing the homes, and destroying the air quality. Those are the four things you need to live. What do you expect them to do? They are starving, they are thirsty, they can't breathe, and they can't live without fear. And you are breaching ceasefires to bomb children, and you are ecstatic about it. You go on to your social media and brag about, oh, just killed children. Who Another quote is, I need to make this its own timestamp. Another quote, paraphrasing, because it was a while ago, is these people from these children, you said children in the tweet, these children in Gaza will grow up to carry a rifle, and that's why we need to kill them. You are putting the system in place that would mean they would want to fight against you because you are bombing them and then bombing them again, and you're still ecstatic about it. You cannot play victim and like, oh, we're just protecting ourselves from possible future terrorism. What are you talking about? You bragged about assassinating the grandchild of some leader, and they were like 4. Why are you're bragging about killing a grandchild of someone? This person may be evil. This person may be doing evil things. I don't fucking care. Because this person has nothing to do with their grandchild. They may share blood, and I share blood with my dad, who's an abuse. He's a terrible person. He is far right. I just went to DC to advocate for leftist policies. Your lineage does not, and not comparing myself to the fucking grandchild, the 4-year-old who was assassinated and then bragged with people fucking bragged about killing a 4-year-old. I Until that child actually got the gun, which you are just proclaiming will happen, until that child actually grabs a gun and points it at you, don't. Why? Why even do it? Why? You are targeting hospitals. You're targeting children. If it was about Hamas, you wouldn't target children. You wouldn't block food to citizens. You wouldn't block water to citizens. You wouldn't threaten Greta Thunberg trying to just sail into the Gaza Strip to distribute food. You weren't checking to see if, oh, maybe she's smuggling weapons into the country. No, you bombed her boat the first time and then threatened her the second time. So not only are you attempting to bomb the children in Palestine, but you are bombing the people trying to just feed the children. And you're giving sorry, I need to rein myself in. you're back in this part of what started it is in World War II, the Holocaust was an evil thing. Wow, I almost made it sound like I was about to be a Holocaust denier or something. No, Holocaust is an evil thing. Anti-Semitism is on the rise, and that should be stopped because you get another World War II. You know what? But that was another genocide. And it wasn't just Jewish people. It was anyone who didn't support Hitler. It wasn't anybody who fit his ideals. Sound familiar to both our president and fucking Benjamin, whatever, however the fuck you say his last name. I do not care. And not only are you repeating the same atrocities that happened to your people back then, you're glad about it, you're bragging about it, and you're giving weapons or ammunition, like figurative ammunition, to real anti-Semit, like real people who are anti-Semitic. And I'm having a chat about my friend to this. Is like you are. I wish I could have had this conviction actually talking to the people, but I had to stick to this my script. I wrote it myself, but I had to be like respectful and all. um, you're you're giving ammunition to real anti-Semitic people, not the people you claim to be anti-Semitic, who are just trying to stop a literal war that has been happening for years. And it is just now being recognized as a war because you've got to be, you've done genocides to the people of Palestine for a year. Put up a graph right now. You've done this for years. You've done it over and over and over again. And you're still playing the victim. And you're still saying that people who speak against Israel right now are just anti Semitic Nazis. But they're not. They are trying to stop another Holocaust like event, aka a genocide. And you are saying this while actual anti Semitic, like, the phrases are on the rise. The president and his little underling, Elon, even though they had a breakup during Pride Month, oh, so sad, have done a literal Nazi salute on the, they've done it in public. Their supporters have done it. Their supporters defend them. And Trump himself on July 4th did the Nazi salute on the White House balcony. There's no arguing about it. I don't want to hear it. Oh, well, he was giving his heart out to the people. You do it. You do it to your employer. You do it in public. And the crazy thing is the people who are defending and denying it are defend the people who are defending and denying it don't even do it for real. They always do like what actually giving your heart out is. And then they bring up videos of like, oh, well, it's not a problem when Taylor Swift does this. And then they cut it out of context when she was going like this, waving, and then pause it at that. For the for the people who always claim, oh, well, you took their words out of context, you are literally pausing videos to take a screenshot and go, oh my God, they also did it. They also did it. Oh my, oh, hypocrite, hypocrite. You people have also been asking for the Epstein files for years. And then all of a sudden, vote comes to pass. Not a single Republican decided to release it, release the files. Oh, they also don't exist, by the way. But which one is it? Is it that they don't exist, or is it that they They never do they not exist, or do you not want to release them because Trump is on them? So is probably Clinton. And that's the thing, is that leftists, not Democrats, because Democrats have their own goddamn issues. AOC literally just voted in favor. This is crazy, by the way. AOC, I was talking so much praise about her. There's so much praise about her, not just on the internet, but I looked in her at her office, and she just has an entire wall of people going to her office and praising her, not in like, sorry, oh my God, not in like the way they praise Trump, but like, and so many people said Latinos support you. Um, please stop oligarchies. Please stop genocides. She just voted against Marjorie Taylor Greene's bill or whatever to stop sending money to Israel. Only, I believe, 6 Democrats voted in favor to stop sending money to Israel. And AOC was not one. And this is why you can't idolize. And I fell into the hole. I fell into the hole. I admit it. Is that this is why you cannot fall into the hole of idolizing your politicians. And it's what MAGA does. Is because so many people trust and love AOC, it's why it's so unfathomable that after everything she has done, everyone she has talked to, supporting Zoran in New York City, who is very anti war and anti, not anti Israel, but anti what Israel is doing. And there's a distinct difference. It's the difference between being a Yahtzee and being somebody who doesn't like fucking genocide. And she directly supported him and then goes against what her constituents want. And just, it's the people around the world see that we're fucking crazy over here. People see that we are sending billions, billions of dollars to Israel. For what? To keep to keep killing children. Keep killing whoever the fuck's grandson who has done nothing. And the fact that the, I believe, I could be wrong, the World War II memorial is almost directly in line with the White House. No, it's probably not. But it doesn't matter because the National Mall in itself is, and it's a reminder of our history. It's a, everything in DC is a reminder of our history. It's a reminder to do better. It's why we have an Abe Lincoln memorial, is because, yes, did he do everything right? No. Did he technically gerrymander Nevada to like get extra votes that he didn't even need because people were waking up to realize that, like, at least not racism, but slavery was wrong to take away the will of somebody else. And like all of a sudden they use their brains for the first time and they go, oh my God, maybe we should stop literally enslaving people. And was he a perfect guy? Fuck no. But that's why there is a memorial of him, is because the whole point of making a nation, the whole point of democracy is to start. It's not to finish. To finish is perfection. I'm gonna get that taken out of context. The finish line is perfection. It's 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 true freedom. It's it's the whole idealism of what democracy is freedom for all. No injustice, no, everyone is properly supported and represented. And our founding fathers, terrible, started that. They may not agree with that finish line. They may not support that finish line, but they started the will to create, to like get to where we are currently, where even people as young as me, I'm 16. I'm 16 and I'm realizing that there is a fucking genocide going on just across the pond, and people are supporting that. And the 16-year-old is the one who has to advocate against, oh, maybe don't you support sending money to Israel to kill children. But you also are the same party who a couple of years ago was going, well, we have to stop sending money to Ukraine. They're just using it to defend themselves. What? Yeah, because they're an ally. They're trying not to be taken over by a foreign country. They have the right to defend themselves. And same goes for Gaza. But it's not defending yourselves when you have all the bombs, you have an Iron Dome, you have the soldiers, you have the weapons, you have the billions of dollars of funding, you have the outside support versus children. And, and it doesn't even matter if the people who you are aiming those bombs at aren't children. Because people should not be harmed. And it, I cannot believe the fact that saying that people should not be harmed in any way, shape, or form is somehow a controversial take, as it's not some sort of principal part of of what the whole point is representing yourselves, getting represented. And even if you, as an elected official, going back to AOC, or anybody who voted or against, or voted to keep sending money to Israel, because not using the double negative. If you voted, the representative, using AOC as an example, see that your constituents, your people, the people who voted for you to represent them, because we don't have a total democracy, we have a representative democracy. We live in a republic. Republicans love saying that. We live in a republic. Yes, we live in a republic. That means that even if if the person disagrees with the bill or whatever, but the constituents they represent don't support the bill, you should listen to the fucking constituents. It's not about you. You may have the voice, you may have the official voting power, but people forget that politics works backwards. It's the people, the representatives. You work for us. We vote you in. You're supposed to represent us. It's in the name, US, us. You're supposed to represent us. If we, if a majority of people in your district, in your state, if in your anything, if a majority of those people disagree with what you said on a bill, you should not be a representative anymore because you are not accurate, ac- accurately representing your people. And it's literally in the name. It is the House of Representatives. And you cannot even do the simple job of listening. And it's because things like lobbying exist. And lobbying is bribery with a better name. And it does not make sense in any way, shape, or form. I cannot find a single, just one justification on why lobbying should exist. Why can Andrew Cuomo get paid by Uber $1 million to shoot public transportation in the shin? And thank God it didn't work. Money, and that's a thing that corporations and politicians don't understand, is that money shouldn't buy the the money shouldn't buy your representatives' votes. And the money they spend on advertising shouldn't buy your vote. Your vote should be for whoever you think represents you the best. And that's why the two-party system is awful and it creates these insane radical cultists. Like it creates division. And the whole point is that we're supposed to be a country of unity. And there's a difference on speaking out on your fellow man, your fellow countryman, and saying, oh, I disagree with you. That's unity. It's a civil discussion. It's working together because you both love your country. You both love what it does. And I cannot confidently say, and I know so many people, and I look back at the history, and so many of my friends, so many of the people I know, so many people in this country, and not just now, but in history, have confidently said, and probably a majority, have said, I am not being properly represented. I do not agree with what my country does. And if you are living in a democracy, that should never happen. The two-party system, non-ranked choice voting, is this absolutely the most destructive thing you can ever have in a democracy because it takes what is beautiful about it and just destroys it because you have to vote for one of the two big party members or you lose. And that's why Dems get on like the Green Party's like asses about this most recent election. Is like, well, why did you vote for Steinberg, I believe her name was? If those people voted for Kamala, we still would have lost. And and like this was the thing me and Bradford talked about. Is like I'm not an election denier, but when you say that he manipulated the computers and oh, I wouldn't have won the election without Elon, huh? It's almost like you're fucking projecting. I do not believe you. There were so many votes. Also, not even about computers. There's so many votes not counted. There's so many votes where they were like, "Oh, well, that signature isn't right." Yes, it is. It's my fucking signature. I have a right to vote, and I'm voting in our the midterms. That's the next time I can vote is the midterms, and I'm gonna. And I think it's especially in such a volatile environment right now is that it is your duty as a constituent, as a person, that you have to be reading these bills. You have to be reading what your congressman, what your senator voted for. Because democracy is dying right in front of us. We are becoming a dictatorship. Billions of dollars was supposed to be sent to education. Donald Trump is legally obligated to send that money to education. And he just, no. And people listen to him. And there's nothing being done about it. And there's nothing you can do as a person other than absolute reform. There's nothing I can do as a citizen other than write a little email to my senator and say, "Hey, fucking fix this. This is what I voted for you for. I didn't vote them in yet, but I'm still the one representing my state to these people. I spoke to them directly. I can't even vote for these people, and I'm the youngest people, the people, all these old people talk about how young people are the future of this country, and you don't even listen to us. We with the rise of social media, we finally have a voice. We have power. We have something. With the rise of social media, not only can you hear from the youngest people, but you can hear from all your constituents. It's not even like, oh, I have to read all these letters. No, you could just write a poll on fucking twitter.com and get a good read off of what your constituents want. It is that simple. And that's also why a total democracy in today's digital age would definitely work. If everybody was just like, oh, if it was a secure app on your phone and you could just vote for everything, it's insanely practical. And like, obviously, I'm not calling for that. It's an insane reform. It would take so long, and it would take so much reform. But I'm saying in today's political or digital day and age, you social media, you would not be hearing me right now if it wasn't for social media. You can directly hear my opinions. And I've been talking about it for at least 30 minutes. I wrote my essay to Democracy Works, the organization who sent us to DC. I sent it online on a Google form. I have an entire essay I wrote about why the arts and theater specifically, because it is my specification, on why the arts is important to government. That was the main focus on my essay, or one of the four main focuses on my essay. I believe it was empathy, government, the other ones. And I will, fuck it. I will put my essay in the description of this video. And you can read it. And you can hear my full opinions. I may have written it in 30 minutes, but it's my full opinions. Might have typos, might not. But it's truly rawly me, and so is the rest of this video. And my senator, my representative, you can hear me right now. And yet you hear. That's the thing. Is that's all you do, is you hear. Do you hear the people singing the song right? God, I'm so Gen Z. But like, that's all you do, is you're like a child. You hear and you hear and you hear, but you just don't listen. You don't do anything. You you go, oh, well, my constituents don't enjoy sending, what was it, almost $250 billion? Or, no, sorry, I got that math really wrong. You, oh, sorry, it's $250 million, I believe, to Israel. So you're increasing our federal deficit. You're cutting Medicare for millions. Hey, newsflash. Guess what? You can't register for Medicare without a social security number. And it's almost like if you're an illegal immigrant, if you're not a naturalized citizen of this country, you can't have fucking social security number. And that's why Medicaid requires you to put in a social security number. Your enemies are not the immigrants who founded this country. You forget that our founding fathers are immigrants. They moved here to not be religiously prosecuted. And yet Zoran, you get on him for being Muslim. I don't even know what religion he practices. He could not practice Islam, and it wouldn't matter to you because he's brown. It's as simple as that. I'm so lost on where I was. I'm in like such a blind rage. But like you can literally just fucking listen. It's as simple as that. It's literally your only job. You get paid tens of thousands of dollars to just listen to your constituents. And not just when voting is coming up, when the midterms are coming up. No, your whole job is to just listen. I'm getting water. Anyways, those are my big ticket things. It's mostly the war in Gaza, which, be clear, it's not even a war. It's like not even a war. You're just bombing hospitals, you're bombing children, bragging about it, saying you need to bomb them from their rubble. They're hiding in the rubble. Well, yeah, because when you destroy all the houses, what is there left? Oh, what? It's almost like when you don't have a house. That's like being an arsonist, burning down somebody's house, and then saying, "Oh, but why are you in a hotel right now? Why aren't you in your house?" Well, you burned down the fucking house. And ice is the I think I need to stop before I get shot. I was like getting on a Boeing plane. I did a Boeing plane there and back, and I was like, oh fuck. Oh, I drank that bad. Breaking news. The 16-year-old who thinks he has a voice doesn't even know how to drink water. Now it's gonna be the headline. It's almost 3. Oh my god, I've been recording for an hour. My Spotify just started. They're trying to tell me to shut up. No, it's the title of the show. And now it looks like I had an earpiece feeding me all that. Okay, now talk about. No. Trump is evil. Netanyahu. I don't fucking know. Is evil. ICE. Literally evil. Cutting Medicaid for millions, I believe. Is evil. And it hurts the red states the most. It's why California threatened to stop paying taxes is because California pays more than it receives. And I saw a video from Gavin Newsom earlier today, and I don't know California. I know my state. I don't know California well, but the videos I've seen from him, great takes. Him shaking Trump's hand, him trying to pull away, not letting it happen, showing that he is in fact not 6'3", not 2% body fat, has a literal chronic vein issue, but he's the healthiest man I've ever seen at the ripe age of 78. Be so fucking real. And you're trying to distract people. That's another hot box issue. And then I'll get back to my trip. I promise there will be a timestamp if you don't want to hear me rant about this. Is that you're just a vile, evil person just trying to stay in the news, trying to distract people from what you truly are and what you truly think. Is that people are fucking stupid. And they will just blindly follow you. And then if you receive any pushback, you threaten to deport them, and the US Supreme Court, who we as the people do not even get to vote in, it's purely their decision. It's purely the president's decision. And it's why they keep winning. Is the Supreme Court decided, oh yeah, you could just drop people off. Well, fuck it, wherever. What? I, I, right now, I was born and raised in Nevada. My mom was born and raised in Nevada. My grandparents were born and raised in Louisiana. Grew up Republican, turned Dem. And I'm grateful for them because they have given me, like, we watch the news together, and it's a fun old time. I love watching the news, and I think it's the duty to at least be educated. I already touched on that. But I'm like, I believe my family has been here at least 5 generations. My grandpa fought in World War II. My great grandpa fought in World War II, maybe World War I. I don't know much about him. He died. On my mom's side. My dad's side, born and raised in Utah. Grandpa, grandma, born and raised in Utah. Great grandma, great grandpa, born and raised in Utah. Both sides. They were Mormon, but like, and I could just like get detained by detained, disappeared, detained, detained by ICE right now if they wanted. They're getting rid of birthright citizenship, even though Trump's grandpa was a German immigrant. He's here from Germany. That's only 2 generations back. My family has been here longer than the Trump family. And he's talking about, oh, we need to get these immigrants out. You wouldn't even be here. You wouldn't even be president. You wouldn't be allowed to run for president. Just like you aren't able to vote for president because you're a felon. You have 34 counts you were found guilty of, and we had to drop charges on you because you were found, because you won the election. And prosecutors went, oh fuck? He's coming after me now. Because that's what people who are leaders of non democratic nations do. It's what kings do, it's what dictators do. And it's literally why we moved from Britain. And people are ecstatic about voting him in. And he posted a AI video or AI photo of him wearing a king or a crown, wearing a king size bed on his head. Probably crush him with the veins. No, he's a peak athlete, 2% body fat. Um, wearing a crown, saying "All hail the king," and then get pissed when people do no kings rallies, and you shut them down, and you kidnap them, and you beat them, and you use tear gas on them, and you threaten to send in the military. And in California, when people were protesting, you sent in the military on citizens defending themselves, protesting, because you are deporting people who are citizens, who are working. And I also do not care if they are naturalized citizens. I don't care. They're helping out. They're being exploited by the people here. They're working below minimum wage because it's such a goddamn terrible, like awful, awful process if you don't already have somebody in here to become a citizen. So how about instead of, oh, let's just deport all the people, even if they're here legally, which you have done multiple times, and then also said, oh, we don't want to return them. And then you were court ordered to return them, and then you didn't, I'm pretty sure. And it could be because you fucking killed them. Because you put them in a prison in a different country. I also have news for you. Auschwitz was in Poland. Auschwitz wasn't Auschwitz, I'm pretty sure it was the biggest, it's the most famous concentration camp. Not that we're strangers to having concentration camps. Our privatized prison system is another thing that needs to be eradicated. We need a prison reform too. But and people don't even know that. I didn't know that until I learned that El Salvador, like that there was an ICE detention center in El Salvador. I didn't know that Auschwitz was in Poland until then. And if you don't know what that means, I I implore you to use a brain cell. It means that the Nazis weren't using their homeland, their own dirt, their own soil to murder 6 million Jews. It means that they used another country's soil to put them in a camp. And now it's almost like history is a circle. It's almost like you're concentrating all these people into a camp in a different fucking country that they're not even from. Where it's a famous, you know what the most famous part about this prison is? Is that it treats its prisoners horribly. They don't have rights. They don't have human rights. And the same thing for our prison system. You have people work below minimum wage. You use slave labor in our prison systems, and it's legal. People in California a while back, I don't remember what year it was, they had the chance during the midterms to directly vote against keeping, like, officially outlawing slavery. And you know what they voted for? California. California. The big blue evil state. They voted to keep slavery. And that's not to say that it's like it's inherently a leftist policy. No, it's a damn thing. And I obviously haven't read the whole thing. I only know the headlines. Because once again, I'm not from California. People like to confuse Nevada and California a lot for some reason. I don't know. I'm not from California. I don't know exactly what was in this question. But I do know it had something to do with no slavery. And then you just kind of went, nah? No, we actually want to keep that. The thing the thing that we amended with the 16th president. What are we on? 47? So 40 we've had 41 different presidents. Not presidencies. We've had 41 different presidents. Or 41 presidents since we stopped slavery. And you kind of just went, no, you didn't want that. And this goes back, also, before I touch on this, I also saw a video from Newsom like 10, well, 10 minutes before I started recording. God, I, like, I'm on a roll. Um, 10 minutes before I watched this is that, like, I didn't know this about their taxes in California, but it's their highest taxed workers is lower than the lowest paid workers in Texas. Yet California is, and it's such an expensive state, they'll tax you. Well, no, it's only bad if you're rich. If you are scared to get taxed, you fundamentally it's the basic goddamn problem with trickle down economics. Trickle down. Oh, when this water bottle, I saw this analogy, I'm stealing this, and I admit it. Well, when this water bottle gets full, well, then it'll start dripping down the edges. That's the idea of trickle down economics. Except they just get a bigger water bottle. Sorry, I looked around for a bigger water bottle. Better example. Let me take out my name and address. When this pill bottle gets full of water, it's gonna fall out, trickle down. Cool? What actually happens is they grab a water bottle. And after this, they'll get a gallon jug. The richer are getting richer. The top 1% has more wealth than the entire 99 below them. And then you try and talk about trickle down economics. Do you know how much $1 billion is? Do you know how many times you could end homelessness and still have multi-billions in your bank account, Elon Musk? And and oh, the fucking bootlickers love going, oh, well, it's not liquid cash. They obviously can't just pull this money out of their bank account. They can make loans. They make loans and they back it up with what they can, their net worth. And I also don't care. Sell one of your 5 houses that is making it impossible for my generation to ever own a home. I will probably never own a home. And I'm going into a pretty lucrative business of therapy. And it's not about the money. for me. It's about helping people. It's about I was there. It's about I had an amazing therapist and I have grown from sleeping with a Nerf gun because I was scared that I would get murdered by my own. Uh, um, maybe I should edit that part out. No, it's fine. I'm just gonna keep this all in, actually. Um, you'll never find this. Uh, uh, it it's that I was there. I had to start therapy at 7 years old, and I'm still in therapy 9 years later. And now I want to give back, and it's why I went on this trip in the first place. Um, I never touched on the Epstein files, and I never touched on the other thing that I was gonna get into before talking about Newsom. I kind of touched on the Epstein files, and I don't remember the other thing. Okay, well, with my mentioning of giving back, we're gonna have to. Oh, sorry, that was horrible. We're gonna have to cut ahead a little bit because I this is more related to like my actual trip. This will be its own video, I promise. This is the political video. And try not to mix. Well, it's innately mixed, but I'm gonna separate this part for now. Anyways, um, so walking around National Mall. Yeah, sorry, that was an abrupt little thing. I've entered into my personal life and kind of frazzle me. I'll probably go down another rabbit hole later. Whatever. Okay, cool. I'm look like. Now give me my next talking points. Nobody will ever know. Sorry, I'm just being very vulnerable. It's the small things that really get you. It's something as simple as seeing all those stars representing I believe it's 1,000. That's what Gaskell told me. Is that it's each star represented 1,000 people who died in World War II, and those were young adults. It was people who lied about their age to fight for their country back when there was like something to truly fight for. And once again, definitely not the 1940s, not a good year, but it brought people together. The first, I believe, the first like black militias or like true members or units of the army were like finally accepted and like they did their things. I watched this amazing movie. I believe I have the book actually. My grandpa gave me the book. Um Sorry, my grandpa's a because he fought in it. He's a huge World War II history buff. I saw this amazing movie. It was my freshman year. It was Devotion. I still haven't read this because I watched it. It was Glenn Powell and oh, why don't they have his name on here? Oh my my papa wrote a note in here. I feel so bad right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sorry, personal thing again. I'll move on. But it says to my name from Papa. Hope you enjoy reading this I believe that's supposed to say book, but he added an E. Oh no, it's a cursive. Book as much as I did. Smiley face. That's really sweet. Anyways, uh, this was a very powerful movie. I watched it on a first date though. Was not a good first date. We broke up like a week after. uh, and now they're like dating one of my friends. I say that like I'm jealous.
I actually I went to their birthday party, and that's how my girlfriend met me for the first time, is because I went to their birthday party and I liked them more than the person I was celebrating their birthday. But I was like way more shy back then. So it took me 2 years to ask her out, even though I met her in eighth grade, but she doesn't remember that. Anyways, back to Devotion. I watched it. It was very good. It was, let me make sure I'm not confusing this with a different movie, because this was uh 2021, I believe. Um, no, it was 2022 film. I think my grandpa got the book then or something. Oh no, he got it in 23. It was Jonathan Mayers and Glenn Powell, and yeah, here's the synopsis. Inspirational true story of Jesse Brown, the first black aviator in the U.S. Navy. His enduring friendship with fellow fighter pilot Tom Hudner, played by uh, Glenn Powell, um, helping turn the tide during the most brutal battle in the Korean War. So it wasn't even World War II, but we also saw the Korean War. Um, their heroic sacrifices ultimately made them the Navy's most celebrated wingmen. Um, and this is also the like type of story that Trump would not have and delete off of government websites. Why was Joe Jonas in this? Anyways, it was a very, very good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It's on Netflix right now if you want to go see it. Um, but once again, is that it's about getting to that finish line. It took until the Korean War, part of the Cold War, part of the Red Scare, to make to have a black fighter pilot in the US Navy. And the sheer amount of adversity and people like fucking Ben Shapiro. I'm getting into another rant. Another like people like stupid fucking grifters like Ben Shapiro will go on to their shows, go super woke, super wojack. And they'll go, well, I bet that airline crash wouldn't have happened without DEI hiring. Do you know what DEI is? Hey, newsflash, Trump wouldn't have won the 2016 election without DEI. Because DEI isn't just race, it isn't just gender, it isn't just a sexual orientation. It's about representing. It's why we have oh God, why can I like each state gets a certain amount of what is that called? Um state This is really embarrassing. Electoral college. It's how we have the electoral college. The electoral college was made to better represent those small states, and that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. But, you know, it's all about reaching the finish line. And it's important for people like you to help to carry the baton. I like I'm getting to the age where it's my turn to carry the baton. But um I don't remember where this was going. but I don't know. It was very powerful, and it was like something. It was like something so simple as the stars is so powerful. But then you look at the tiny little engravings on each stone in the pillars, and you just, it's so awe-inspiring. Oh, also, and it was a thunderstorm, and it was like, it was really neat to see the National Mall, and it's while like thunder cracked the sky, and it was like huge things of thunder or lightning, and like I did make a joke at the time, but it is like it is my genuine opinion is that it's like it's representative of where our country is at this point in time. We are losing rights. We are losing our voting power. We are losing democracy. We're losing what the National Mall stands for. We have the guy, we have the monument for the guy who stepped down to not be praised by the people. He did that to like get the whole system of presidents running. And it also helped create precedent for like term limits. And like that's such a good thing about the Constitution is that it's incredibly changeable. It's all it takes is a vote. That's it. I believe it's a two-thirds vote of Congress, but that's the point is that if the people want something, people get something. Of course, majority is, and people are like brain dead on the internet. They're like, oh well, let the people who vote for blue policies and the people who vote for red policies get those effects to each other. And I'm like, have you read a history book? Do you know what a civil war is? There's civil wars going on right now. Bet you didn't know that. There are civil wars going on right now. And you're like, "Oh, let's divide the country more than it is by a two-party system." Like George Washington said, "Don't do two-party systems." Because it's a bad idea. It's a terrible idea. There's no justification for a two-party system. Is it obvious at all that I'm like a leftist throughout this video? Future me show my political compass thing. I'm not sure if I took a screenshot of that, and I'm not answering all of those questions again. Guess what? On the axis, I was bottom left. Shocking. It was like embarrassing because I did it with friends at the time. That's a whole different thing. Adam and Cooper, you get this. You're not gonna watch this. Um, Adam and Cooper, Andrew and Cooper. God, I'm tired. Andrew and Cooper, no. Andrew threatened to bury a bitch. Um, I'm not. I'm gonna. Whatever. Um, violating trust. I don't know. But like, oh God. We took the political compass test together, and it was like everybody was pretty bottom left. One of them didn't understand the questions, whatever. But like I was by far the most, and I was kind of like, oh, they're gonna think I'm some commie. Good Preston reference? No, but like a little, but I don't like mixing politics and friendships because it's just like it's messy. And with the way political landscape right now is is not to say like I I'll circle back to that. But like um I just don't like mixing it because it's like it's messy, and with the two-party system we're in, it's like it's so divisive, and like it could just tear things apart. That's not to say, and this is me circling back for the first time in this video because I actually remembered ADHD who um ADHD and autism. Um but like that's not to say I fundamentally disagree with people who are like, well, you can disagree on politics and still be friends. Okay, one moment. I'm actually just gonna swallow it. It's fine. Um, well, you can disagree on politics and still be friends. Okay, there's a difference. This is another point I was gonna circle back on earlier. Is yeah, you can, but debating in politics, there's a fine line between, oh, disagreement and you want more children to be bombed. There's a fine line between like what democracy is supposed to be is one person saying, "Oh, we should use tax funds for this." And we should use tax funds to elevate technology in our schools. And the other person across the aisle goes, "No, that's dumb. We should use it to pay the teachers better." And then they talk about it. And then they come to like a middle of that, and a like maybe 50-50, like 50% of it goes to uh the teachers, 50% of the money that they already allocated, and then you have to send to education objectively. It's something you legally have to do. Not that that's happening or anything, but like that's what it's supposed to be. That's the things that you can disagree on, still be friends. What you can't disagree on and still be friends is, I think we should stop bombing hospitals. I think we should stop funding people who bomb hospitals. And the other person goes, no, we should keep bombing hospitals. I'm not gonna be friends with you if you think we should bomb children and bomb hospitals. Once again, it's not even about the children. It's not about the hospitals. It's the fact that you shouldn't fucking bomb. Bombs in our current world have no place. Pen is mightier than the sword. Why are you bombing grandchildren? Anyways, on to the fun part of this video. Sorry, Debbie Downer over here. Oh, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. I don't know why Britney Spears is so British. Oh, Secret Service put poison in my water. Actually, no, it was probably the CIA. You get, you can get, JFK. You can't get me. FBI, FBI, you can get Martin Luther King Jr. Can't get me. Just a little bit of like context for this next part. It like kind of fits. It's more about my trip, but it's political. And I don't care. It's my video. I was talking about like kind of some of the pitfalls of the trip, but I'm still very grateful. But there's definitely some pitfalls, and yeah.
as a constituent, as in like I'm voting in the next midterms. I didn't vote them in, but as a constituent, actually, I don't even think I'm a constituent of Mark Amade. I don't think I am. Maybe that's why they split me up, but that doesn't make any fucking sense because I'm pretty sure I'm not. But I'm still representative of the state as a whole. So, and when I don't get listened to, what am I supposed to do? Because I already, like, I'm supportive of protests. Should probably go, but I'm like scared to ask my mom. It's a whole thing, and like I don't want to get fucking tear gassed or shot. Um, like that one reporter who got shot in the leg for just standing there.
Moving them on through the heart of LA.
Like I spoke to Mark Amadeus. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. I spoke to Mark Amadeus' assistant, essentially, his staffer, and he was just like so awkward and offhanded. And we spoke in the cafeteria, and it's allowed in the cafeteria. And I asked Bradford after, and I'm like, do we normally meet in the cafeteria? And he's like, no, I've been here 3 times in a row, and we've never been in the cafeteria. And I'm like, okay, fuck me. Like, he just went, okay, so why do you want to be here? He was more awkward than me too. He was skittish. He was just going, oh, so why do you, what is your story? And I'm like, so I'm the vice president of my theater troupe. Um, sorry. Um, I'm vice president of my theater troupe. I'm speaking so fast, and which is why I didn't have any caffeine in the morning because I was freaked the fuck out. And for him, I did focus on economics, on how the arts is a five. I'm gonna remember the statistic until the day I died because I like remember having to memorize it because it was like the only point I could make against this dart bag is the arts is is 5% of Nevada's entire um uh economy, and it's 14 or yeah, $15.9 billion, I believe. Uh, and it's that amount of money. And right now, that includes tourism, and tourism is going down right now. And people aren't staying in the state for college. We don't have things to offer, and the arts are one of the big things we can offer. And I went on a whole thing about money and how it's helped supported me, about giving me a voice, and how it's helping me in like my future career, be it I survive. Be clear, it's surviving. Either I survive as an actor or I go on to be a therapist, and I wouldn't be talking to you right now if it wasn't for therapy, for theater. I wouldn't have the confidence to even sit in front of a camera and talk for 2 hours without a script. Which probably would have been wise, and he just went, yeah, okay, cool. Anything else you want to add? Uh, no, that was what I prepared. Okay, cool. And he just like walked away. And I'm like, success, I think? Mind you, last year, I believe it was Susie Lee invited them into the president's office to go talk. I get the cafeteria from Mark Amade. But they can go on to the president's office. And also, fun fact about Mark Amade,
One time when our group was supposed to meet with him, he just sat next to Trump instead. Just thought you should know that because that's a really fun story that Bedford told me. Obviously, this wasn't this year. I would be much more jealous if it was this year that they got to go to the president's office and I had to speak in the cafeteria. But and I saw all 5 floors of the Capitol building or of the Cannon building. Such a cool experience, but it's also it's such a such a roller coaster of emotion because you'll walk past. Well, I can't. The upsetting thing is I can't use AOC as an example anymore because fuck you, not representing what you say you represent, not supporting what you say you support, literally defeating the entire purpose of what a representative does. Healthcare is another thing I probably could have talked about. Anyways, not in my meeting, but in my rant. I drank water right that time. Um, wow, there wasn't a representative that I really latched onto. Well, not anymore. I'll just say at the time. At the time, you'd like walk past AOC's office, see all those sticky notes, put up a picture. Like see all those sticky notes, see how much support she got and how cool that was and how like amazing. And then you'd walk 2 steps forward and then you'd see an Israel flag outside of a US representative office in the Cannon building in Washington, D.C. You don't happen to see like what could be wrong with that? The fact that oh wait, that's not your country. Oh, do you have a Ukrainian flag outside of your office? No. Why do you have an Israeli flag? I'm sure if somebody put a Palestine flag outside, get taken down. And then you'd see like the Bring Them Home campaign. It's so stupid. And I saw a picture with AOC posing up for a picture with them. And I'm like, but okay, so you completely just backpedaled all of a sudden. Who's paying you now? It's genuinely my question to AOC is okay, so what super PAC is paying you now? Because I thought you would listen to your constituents, and you didn't. Not that it would have overturned the vote at all, but you know, your vote still counts. It's the whole point of democracy. I also, time for another rant. I hate when, specifically Democrats, because Democrats love saying this, is like, vote blue no matter who. First of all, party the whole problem with the two-party system is that you say vote blue no matter who and then go on to say, well, MAGA is cult. Well, yes, but also so is their cult is on one person. Our not our whoa Dems whole their cult is based on the party itself and vote blue no matter who. And like I hate when they'll say, well, you gotta get out there. Because specifically the old people. My grandparents say this too, and like I try to see it where they're coming from and all, but it's hard. Well, you see, transatlantic, you really gotta get out to those polls. You know, every vote counts. You have a voice.
elections are won by hundreds of thousands of votes. And yes, you should absolutely use your vote. I'm not saying, well, just stay at home. That's a good idea. No, that's stupid. Don't go vote. Voting is an extremely powerful thing. It's probably the most powerful thing you could do. But also getting on people like singular people for deciding to like they either don't have time or just deciding to not vote this year, which is also valid, dare I say. I think you're stupid to see someone as inherently evil as Trump and being like, well, there's evil on both sides, so I'm just not gonna vote. Well, would you rather drink milk? Once again, I'm stealing this. Or would you rather drink shit water? I don't like milk. I don't like milk. I like putting in cereal, and that's about it. I cannot stand the taste of milk. Even when I'm like drinking my cereal, I'm like, if it doesn't have enough of the like cereal still inside it or like residue from the cereal still inside it, I just won't drink it and I'll add more cereal. But I would rather drink a glass of milk than eat fresh shit. So you would rather forego your right to vote, your right to have a voice, your right to make a decision, and to have some sort of not real moral high ground of, well, you voted for the person who supports Israel, and I decided to not vote for the person who would at least cut back a little bit on the funding. Wow, good on you. You have such moral high ground in this situation. You know, good on you, really, for, just foregoing saying, no, I don't think we should murder children. Good on you. Good on you for going, well, one of them is a 34-time felon. Couldn't even vote in a presidential election. You know, has said creepy things about his own daughter. Has like in street interviews, people have taken his quotes in context, used those exact quotes, and people would say, "I would never vote for that guy," and until they realize it's Donald Trump who said it. Things about his own daughter.
The following is not my video, nor what it was really what I was talking about, but I couldn't find the clip I was talking about. But this works just as well, so, enjoy.
What did you think when Joe Biden suggested that COVID could be cured by shining a bright light inside the body?
It is very sad that Joe Biden is clearly a dementia patient.
Supposedly we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light.
What did you think when Donald Trump suggested that COVID could be cured by shining a bright light into the body?
It depends what that technology is.
Because Joe Biden's a fucking pedo. If she was 2 years older, I'd. Well, but like, good on you. You have such a moral high ground here. Because 34 count should not be allowed near women. Felon. Terrible person versus woman who would not totally agree with all your points. I thought Kamala had flaws. I thought it wasn't a good position to run under, but it was also the vice president for the last 4 years. Hey, you remember who Joe Biden was under Obama? Guess what? It was the vice president. It's almost like when you're the vice president, you sort of learn how being a president works, versus the guy who had no political career before going, I'm gonna do this for fun, and then create a whole
fucking cult around me. Ran over. We were talking to them. It was God, I already forgot her name. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Lana. We spoke to Lana and intern. Uh, but she was a 2020 graduate of LVA, our local Las Vegas Academy of the Arts. It's where my best friend goes for to school. Uh, it's where Chris Hayes is from, and he just won the Jimmys, or one of the Jimmys. But and she went there for musical theater. So, but like, why are we talking to you then? Because if you're a legislative aide to Horsford and you're a theater kid, and so many people, and she said so many in this office are theater kids. The intern was a band kid. They were all arts kids, and we just like they know. I'm talking to them about bills they've already read and care about, and Stephen Horsford was in favor for the bills that we were advocating for. So why am I talking to you about it? To get you to support it more? You only have one vote. And it really is about what you do back at home and not just talking to the Congress people. I find talking to people in Congress less effective than talking to your friends. Talk to the people you know because you will have the voting power soon. Because Gen Z is getting on the rise. Gen Z as a whole is very blue. Like in the UK, they're supporting a brand new third party. I forget the name, but like people will try to convince you that Gen Z is extremely red-pilled, and I do think Andrew Tate did do some significant damage, and but that's what I grew up supporting Donald Trump. In the 2016 election, when I was living with my grandparents because I couldn't live with my father, who was the one who was telling me to support Trump, and I just believed him. And I was like, I remember talking about it in my third grade class, and I was like, well, I like shooting guns because I live in the desert. We can just shoot in out in the desert. Um, and like I do find that fun, and I think that is the only chance where guns should be used. I think ranges, even outdoor ranges, are the only situation that guns should be in the hands of your average Joe Schmo. Second Amendment, kiss my ass. That's for when we were getting constantly threatened by the British. It's almost like that's the same reason we have the amendment about room and board, and that you're not required to give rooms to the military. I forget which one it is. It might be the sixth or the fifth. No, fifth is not speaking, so it's probably the sixth. Or I'm wrong. Fuck if I know. Um, it's not my responsibility to memorize. Well, it kind of is, but like I can. It's fine. We learned that we were getting an exclusive tour of the Capitol building, which is like really cool and really rare. And it's like my internal uh supporting critical race theory in school internal. I was like, oh wow, this is where a lot of bad things happen, but also this is really cool. That was such a corny way of putting that. I'm so sorry. I support critical race theory. Look at me, I'm a white guy. I have a girlfriend and I'm a white guy. I can't say straight white guy because I'll get flamed in my comment section. You're bisexual. Nuh-uh. I hear sirens, I'm gonna get shot. It's not a joke though. It's not very funny. I saw to see Cory Brooker. I have really mixed feelings about him because he did the uh like longest filibuster in Senate history, beating out the one against the Civil Rights Act, and I think that's really powerful. And like a couple of like the week after or something, he immediately was like, "Yay, Israel!" And I'm like, I thought I had another senator, not from my state, by the way, who like was cool and chill, and I could, like, what the fuck? Thanks for immediately ruining that. And then I saw fucking John Fetterman, who back in I think 22, I was such a big fan of John Fetterman, and it was because he was running against Dr. Oz, who was another person who just does not have any experience with government, and he's literally a pseudoscientist, and he's not even a doctor. He's literally just like Dr. Phil, but like somehow even worse. Dr. Phil is so bad. Um, And like the only thing you'll wear a suit to is some party with fucking Trump. Okay, you fucking bitch. Don't he doesn't even like walk in all the way to the Senate floor. He just gives his vote from the door, and I'm pretty sure it's because he's not allowed in because he's not wearing a suit. I mean, has he even said thank you to his constituents? I mean, not a single time since he's been wearing those shorts in the Capitol building has he said thank you. I think that's really rude of him. No, but like also he was running against Dr. Oz. He was running on being like a more or less a socialist, I'm pretty sure. It was a while ago. And like sticking up for people. And then he immediately was like, "Yay, Israel! Yay, Donald Trump! Yay, being a bitch! Yay, going against my constituents back! Yay, PACs! Um, yay, being a bad fucking person." God, I hate him. And it's so embarrassing that I fell for the rug pull. Um, I saw Ted Cruz, me and Xander. Xander was sitting in front of me. We both went, Anyways, thank you for sticking around this long and me getting really political and stuff. Anyways, bye. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, thespians. If you ever see this, I hope not. Yeah, bye. I also realized at the end there, I forgot to talk about like the actual flight. And I know this video as a whole has been a bit of a Debbie Downer. Um, I didn't even turn on my light for this section. But I do want to end it on a happier note on, well, I guess me, 'cause a lot of this, well, all of it's been me. But like I want to make it genuinely clear was an amazing experience. When it comes around, your state probably does this. Do it. It's You learn a lot. You get to experience a lot of things, and if your congressman happens to listen to you, good. Okay, have your voice. I do this. I may have like uh talked about some of its flaws, but it is an objectively good program. And I like to like leave the video with I had an amazing time. Do it. Have fun. Have a voice. Sorry, I know that was like a really heat ending. Uh and but like I forgot what I was gonna say. Um oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Um Never mind. Sorry, this is really embarrassing that I keep coming back. Um, this is a 3+ hour video now. But uh, and it's not even about even talking to your congressman. It's about talking to your mayors. It's about talking to your governors. It's about talking about your student leaders because they could go on to do do programs like this or be or congressman. So it's a lot. It goes a lot deeper than just what I did, and just because talking to these senators didn't work out perfectly for us doesn't mean you shouldn't go talk to your congressman, or not even your congressman, as I said, your local government. It's important for you to have a voice, and they are required to listen to you, uh, like legally. You're their constituent. They have to listen. Uh, like, they may not like fully listen, but they do have to give you the light of day. You can send an email to them at any time. Their information's very public. You just look them up. Um, it's a very liberating experience. Once again, going back to please do this. It's good. It's powerful. It's important. It's especially nowadays. It's extremely important. Have your voice heard. Go to your local protests. Uh, Legal protests. I'm not inciting violence. I'm saying go to No Kings rallies. Uh, Go to like Unfuck America tour. I don't know if that's still going on. Fight Oligarchy tour. I think that's still going on. Get it, like get involved in whatever you can. Do what you can, do what you want, and just live. We are very blessed to, or in America, and a lot of the world, we are blessed. We are very lucky to live in a democracy, to have these freedoms, and they are being encroached on. And now is the time to act. And now is not the time to go, as many people have in history. Now is not the time to, oh, well, somebody else will do it. Now is not the time to go, well, what can I do? Do what you can. It's not donating, it's not spending, it's not it's it's just do what you can. And that's the most powerful thing you can do in adversity. Because it's not left versus right, it's up versus down, and it's not a 1-to-1 fight. It's a 10,000 to 1 fight. It's 99% of the wealth, or the top 1% has 99% of the wealth, I believe, or something. Whoa, I think I'm losing it. Top 1% has more wealth than the 99 below combined. Um, and that's why it's up versus down. And it's why you need to, it's why people need to wake up. It's why people need to focus. It's why people need to be educated. It's why you can't just shun them. You need, or shun people. You need to be educating. You need to be graceful. I've seen so many people be like, "Oh, it used to be MAGA, finally learning," and then people will go out and shame them, and I'm like, they're learning. They're trying to do better. They're they are doing better. They've literally broken out of cult. And you're going, how could you vote for someone so evil? Well, they're realizing now that that person was evil. That's why they're no longer a part of it. And this is why like, we don't like you can't be accepting of gay people. You can't be tolerant of religions and everything if you can't even be tolerant of somebody realizing they were wrong and learning. And that's really what this whole thing was about, was education.